again with some more tips for you from Edible Supply. Again, they have a wonderful new product. It is Edible Cake Paint, cocoa butter based, by Edible Supply. This is again another awesome product that can be used to paint on cakes. It has texture. You can heat it up and put it through an airbrush. The secret of success is to take your little bottles, remove the lids, and just sit the cocoa butter bottles in hot water. I actually poured boiling water in here, sat all the bottles in and just left them there. After about a minute or two, put the lid on and shake it, and that will help temper the cocoa that's in the paint, and it will bring the color and the cocoa butter together. So again, another tip, boiling water in a little container, add your bottles, let them sit there for a minute or two. If I only have 1 or 2 bottles, then I would have it sitting in the water for just a minute. With all the different colors that I'm going to be working with, I'm going to actually leave it in there for 2 minutes. Put the lid on, give the bottle a good shake to temper the cocoa butter with the food color, and then let it sit in here. My airbrush, so that it's nice and warm, so that when the cocoa butter goes through here, it's not going to solidify. I actually have another bowl, another container with hot water in it, and I just sit my airbrush in there. And that way, when I go to spray with the cocoa butter, it's not going to solidify. You need to have plenty of paper towels close by, and always airbrush, first of all, onto your paper towel. I'm going to do a sky theme, because one of the things that I want to mention to you, and what I love about this product, is that you can actually airbrush light on dark. With using just normal airbrush colors, you have to work from light to dark, because the white on normal colors takes the color from underneath. But with the cocoa butter paint, with the cake paints, you can actually airbrush the white on top of it, and you can even paint and develop layers of painting, so you can really work with your oil paint technique using this. So I'm going to start off working with some blue, pour it into my cap here, and I'm going to airbrush this piece of fondant just to make it look like sky. Leaving white patches in here. Nice dark blue sky. And I'm going to go over it with white to give me my pale blue. Pour what's left over back into the bottle and clean out your airbrush with hot water and your paper towel until it runs clear. Now working with the white, I'm going to lighten that blue. When working with an airbrush, just very gently move your hand around. Don't wiggle it back and forth, otherwise the paint will spill out. And now I'm going to start building up my clouds. Now obviously what comes out of the airbrush is very thin. I normally take a little bit of white and set it aside. I have a little container here, and I'm going to put a little bit of white edible cake paint on the container because I want this to set up. Once it sets up, it becomes thicker, and then I can paint more detail into the clouds. While I'm waiting for that to set up, I'm going to continue airbrushing white clouds into my blue sky. Come close. You'll see how realistic this will become. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to empty my airbrush of all color, so it's devoid of color, and I'm just going to use the air to dry this out. Here my cocoa butter cake paint is a little thicker, so now I can bring this in and start fluffing up the base of my clouds. Just build up your clouds. Use a soft food grade brush. I like to work with the Atico brushes. They're food grade, so you don't have to worry about the bristles coming out in your paint. So imagine what you can do with this. Really do some awesome painting on your cakes with texture to it. I'll stop there. See how you've built up your storm clouds. Now that I've started building up the clouds, I want to give it a smoothness so the clouds don't look too stormy. They look more like summertime fluffy clouds. So what I'm going to do is just work directly from the bottle using my fine brush because this is nice and thin, and just work lightly over my texture to smooth it out and bring the fluffiness of the clouds together. And as you can imagine, there's some awesome techniques that you can do. Imagine making three-dimensional flowers and giving them texture. You can paint this onto your gum paste, you can paint it onto your fondant, you can paint it directly onto the side of your cake. So just working with this, smooth it out a little bit. I don't want the clouds too stormy. Let's have little happy clouds, because art is time to be happy. And just work it in with your brush. You can use your fingertips. And this is just how I'm going to finish it off. There you have a really beautiful sky. Wipe your brush off in between your paper towel, and that will remove the cocoa butter from the bristles. So let me just show that to you. Very simple technique in how to create dimension and how to create layers using your edible cake paint.